Hey guys, it's Anthony. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over some car sales closing techniques, one that I feel is super important in today's market. And if you're new to the business, there's actually a silver lining because you don't know anything other than this, and that's overcoming adjusted market value. People who have been in the business for a little while, they're still probably going to be, unless you've adapted quickly enough, there's going to be a little bit of that slippery, guilty feeling when you're charging above sticker. It's ironic because it only exists in the automotive industry. In the housing market, people are having bidding wars, paying much above list for houses, and nobody bats an eye about it. It's just one of those things about the auto industry where we have this inherent sense of guilt, and I do feel like that's because of years and years of salespeople who weren't properly trained, who weren't properly taught the necessary skills to handle the customer interaction and the transaction, which ultimately left a negative stigma on the business. I took some notes. I'm going to reference them as we go through this video, but I took some notes for you guys and girls, and I want to go over them with you of different tips and tricks to overcome adjusted market value in today's market. Now, remind you, if you're new to the business, this is a blessing. It's not a curse. It's a blessing because all you know is this, and I would highly suggest and I would encourage you that when the market corrects itself a little bit, hold on to the courage of your convictions and that tenacity and fearlessness to ask for all the money because you deserve it. If someone's willing to pay it right now, they will be willing to pay it in the future. Now, naturally, market conditions do change and buyer's awareness does adjust as well. But if you don't ask for it, then the answer is always going to be no. I actually, my dad, he's a desk manager in the industry still. And I remember before going into a sales training one day, I had said to him, Dad, I'm going to talk about holding gross profit today. And I had said to him, if you could pick one tip, one thing, one suggestion as to why, or your ability rather, to hold gross profit, what would you contribute it to? And he quite just easily and frankly said, you got to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, the answer is always going to be no. And I think as salespeople, we get traumatized sometimes because we think about the customer we had before and the one before that and how they said no, and we just automatically assume that this customer is going to say no to whatever we're offering them. But we have to clear our mind, clear the slate, and at that next at bat, we got to swing for the fences. So I'm going to take a peek at my notes really quick for you right here, because I did put down a lot for you. One thing to remember when you're discussing adjusted market value with your customers, make sure they understand that this is an industry standard. This is industry-wide. It's not unique to your dealership. It's based off the market conditions, and it's based off what the market dictates. This is going on across the entire industry. So, Mr. Customer, this isn't unique to our store. You're going to find this. Had you gone to dealership B, C, D, E, or F, you will see the same thing. But hey, let's make it happen for you right now. Address and redirect, guys. This is my favorite technique. Address the adjusted market value and redirect. So if you're on the lot, address the adjusted market value. So yes, there is an adjusted market value up to X amount of dollars. But we here at Bob Smith's auto dealer, we've never lost a deal over adjusted market value. We've never lost a deal over price or payment. That's the easy part. We'll figure that out inside. The hardest part is picking your favorite color. So, Jim, what do you think of the steel gray over here? Do you like the gray or would the black be better for you? Address and redirect. Address the price, right? Address it. Yes, don't dance around it because then you look like you're being slippery and you're not trying to answer the customer's questions. I think in most cases, when a customer asks you a question or vents a concern to you, they really don't care what the answer is. Now, they will care at times, but more importantly, they care about your willingness to answer the question. That's what's most important to them. Are you willing to answer, or are you going to do that stereotypical salesperson dance? So be mindful of that. If you answer them and you answer them directly and confident, in most cases, that will satisfy them. So address, yes, there is an adjusted market value up to $15,000. With that being said, Jim, with that being said, Bob, we've never lost a deal over price or payment, and we're not going to start today. The numbers, that's the easy part. We can work that out inside. The hardest part is picking out your favorite color. So, Bob, let me ask you this. We're going to make the numbers work. The black or the gray, which one do you see yourself driving home more likely? What's better for you? If you had to envision yourself driving home in this new car. When you leave today with your new car, do you see yourself in the black or the gray? When you leave today in your new car, right? Planting seeds of ownership. So just remember, address and redirect. You're going to do that on the lot. You're going to do that inside as well. All right, we're going to get to that in a couple bullet points. But on the lot, address it. Yes, there is an adjusted market value, but here's a word track. We've never lost a deal over price or payment. And you could use that inside as well in regards to trade-in. We've never lost a deal over trade-in value, right? So there's a lot of word tracks that we can use. But on the lot, address it. Yes, but we've never lost a deal over adjusted market value. The numbers are the easy part. We'll figure that out inside and then redirect back to the vehicle. All right, another bullet point that I have for you guys right here. Remember this, right? You could say this to your customer when you're negotiating. If there's a trade-in that's involved, and let's say that we've already discussed trade-in. Now, I typically don't like to dive into trade value. Now, I want to, be completely transparent with my customers, but depending on your pencil, right? Your pencil being the numbers that your desk manager or sales manager works up, depending on the pencil, he may want you to just focus on down payment, monthly payment. There's a number of ways to desk deals. I've learned and taught all of them. But if it's a pencil where you want to kind of just stay away from the trade-in and we want to focus on the new car, which is my favorite way of going about it, unless, of course, the customer asks me a question, I'm always going to answer honestly and be transparent. But at the end of the day, I do need to save the customer from themselves. A lot of times they overcomplicate the situation in the spirit of trying to negotiate a great deal for themselves, not knowing that they're actually just complicating it for themselves. So I stay away from trade-in, but let's just say that we did start speaking about trade-in. Pandora's box was already open, or the customer's happy with their trade-in value. I would say, Mr. Customer, Miss Customer, the adjusted market value exists for the same reason why we're able to give you so much for your trade-in. The adjusted market value exists for the same reason why we're able to give you so much for your trade-in. Both markets play off each other. If the adjusted market value wasn't there, that would mean that the new car wasn't in as high demand and there wasn't so much value placed on it, which then would reflect on the used car market and ultimately your trade-in. So the adjusted market value exists for the same reason why we're able to give you so much for your trade-in. So that's one you could use as well. I like to say to my customers, hey, in this market, the hardest part is finding the vehicle, not affording it. In this market, the hardest part is finding the vehicle, not affording it. Actually finding it is the hardest part. If we found it, then we accomplished the hardest part. The numbers will always work out. I start saying positive affirmations like this. The numbers will always work out. And I continue to tell my customer these things, and I prime their mind, and I start to make them feel more at ease with the process and the purchase. It's like this repetitive, recency bias. They keep hearing it. There's other, psychological components to it. But the more they hear it, the more it becomes real. And they start to feel, yes, the numbers will work out. They are going to make it work. And I can encourage them and I motivate them to understand that, hey, finding the car, that's the hardest part. Another one that I have here, and it's a little more long-winded in my notes. These notes are designed for face-to-face. But, adjusted market value and sale price, that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's one piece of the puzzle. Now, yes, it is an important piece. And I'll say that. Yes, it is an important piece. But it's only one piece. Because let me ask you this, Jim. Let me ask you this, Karen. If the sale price worked, but the payment was still too high, would you say yes? Chances are you'd say no, right? Because you manage your budget the same way I do, the same way that 99% of the population does. And that's why you're financing, because you want it to be affordable on a monthly basis. So it's just one piece of the puzzle. But if the sale price worked, but the payment was too high, would you say yes? No, you'd probably say no, right? The payment's too high, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. So let me make this work for you. We're going to make all of the pieces of the puzzle fit together. We're going to make it a beautiful picture at the end, but the sale price is just one piece of the puzzle. So let me ask you this, and here's why I address and redirect. Let me ask you this. Assuming we made the sale price work for you one way or another, what would the next step be? What's the next step, right? What's the next step? And then I go right to my down payment. Could you afford the $5,000 down? Does that work for you? Right? Could you do the $5,000 down? Assuming we make the sale price work, or assuming we made the trade-in work, or assuming we made, whatever it may be, we made this work. What's the next step? And I go right to my down payment. Could you do the $5,000 down? I want to lock in that money down. Money down, I lock in first. I want my down payment first. Then I go to my monthly payment for a number of reasons we'll go over in future videos, but you always close for down payment first. then monthly payment in that order. We're going to go over that in other videos. But once again, sale price, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Assuming we made that work for you, what's the next step? Hey, my friend, thank you for watching. And if you want to see videos just like this one, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the love and support. And don't forget, leave some comments down below. I'm looking forward to all of your interaction and feedback, and I can't wait to bring you more videos just like this one. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.